Do a lot of those executive orders have to be codified into law? Do you need the Republican Congress to follow up?
And they will be. A lot of them will be, yeah.
They will.
Look.
So, and he goes on to talk about this, and 4 years to codify, and all of the damage that really, and he's right, it wasn't just Biden, it's the left that has done all of this. And that damage, was far before Biden and, maybe when Biden was in the Senate, because he was in Washington for a really long time, but definitely before his administration. I mean, all of this needs to be fixed in law. And really, it kind of, in a sense, already is in terms of the U.S. Constitution, because so much of what the left has done is, in fact, unconstitutional. I mean, the entire bureaucracy and the administrative state and delegating so much authority outside the bounds of legitimate federal action, like when we want to talk about the Department of Education. I mean, education isn't a subject matter given to the federal government, so they can't spend on it. That is just wholly unconstitutional. So even if we don't get a lot of these codified wins, if we simply return to the original intent of the Constitution and the limited powers that are given to the federal government, then we would achieve so much. I mean, 99% of what Trump and Elon want to do. And I hope that that message really gets through to them. And this is why, by the way, I am an advocate of the Convention of States project, because when you're talking about balancing the budget, when you're talking about term limits to and even for bureaucracy. I mean, this doesn't even have to be on elected officials, but if you have limits to say you can only work in a federal government position for, let's say 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, whatever it is as the fixed term of even non-elected positions, you wouldn't get the rise of the administrative state once again as much as we have seen. And that's what the Convention of States project is doing, because we know that Congress, especially looking at the Uniparty, with all of this spending that has been on both sides out of control, how Congress is still spending even under a Republican trifecta. You look at, all of the omnibus spending bills and all of this still funding to Ukraine, ridiculous stuff. And you look at where USAID has gone, even to some things that are in Republicans' control. This is a uniparty problem. And so Washington is not going to fix itself. Trump and Elon can do a lot, but this is why the states and the majority of states that have Republican-led legislatures can call for and convene, basically, that's what a convention means, to convene, and they can propose these amendments, bypassing Congress under Article 5, and then ratify term limits and a balanced budget, and even judicial reform. Those are the three big things, and those are the three big things that Trump and Elon are addressing. They can address those things, bypass the entrenched swamp bureaucracy, and then have the states ratify according to the Constitution, just like an amendment that was proposed and passed through Congress. That's the solution, and I would love to see that solution actually happen over the next 4 years. And where we're at in the petition process, I mean, you can go to conventionofstates.com. You can see that. You can see their petition. You can call your representatives if you live in a state that has not yet passed that petition. And if it gets to the 2/3 threshold, then delegates will be sent. We'll convene. We'll talk about those three subject matter, and that's it, because that's what the petition is limited to. But that's what needs to occur next, really. Once we take the executive action, yes, a lot of this needs to be codified by the legislature, but really we need to just bypass the uniparty and the swamp. And